Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me for this. I hope that everyone got the link to this PowerPoint video presentation. Well, obviously, if you didn't get it, you wouldn't be here. Thank you, thanks. Okay. Right, are we sitting comfortably? Then let's start. Final session. Existential being in the modern world. And if that title doesn't excite you, then nothing will. As human beings, we need contact. Being alive is a contact sport, and we need interaction. We need communication. We need to connect with people. Nowadays, we are so connected. Our modern world is in the centre of a communication boom. The world is now linked up and joined together in a seemingly never-ending network of technological wonder. You could almost say it's like some sort of web, in fact. Today it's so easy to be connected, but also so easy to be disconnected. We can trace our need back to communicate thousands of years through history, from the origins of speech and language, where monkeys, apes and prehistoric man would use crude sounds and noise, through to cave paintings and rock engravings such as petroglyphs and ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. The human race has always craved interaction. I thought I'd add some music there for dramatic effect. Not sure if it worked. To be honest, I'm still playing around with this technology. Communication began with sounds and noise. Just think about the velociraptors in Jurassic Park. Well, that velociraptor looks a bit camp, doesn't it? I probably wouldn't mention that to its face, though. Think about the way the velociraptors communicated in the film. Clever girls. Next came pictures and images, pictograms, ideograms, which both sound like the sort of board game you play with your middle-class friends after dinner with and a nice bottle of Chardonnay. Just a joke. I can still joke. Where was I? Yeah, pictograms, ideograms, yes. This led on to the development of writing and the creation of an alphabet around the Bronze Age, everyone's third favourite age after gold and silver. Writing led us to storytelling, something we still do today. And then, of course, came written stories, books. That is the Iliad by Homer, the ancient Greek Homer, not this fella. The biotapestry was an early form of communicating news. Imagine the bloke that had to stitch that as they were fighting. Slow down with those arrows, I can't sew that fast. This written communication continued with more books and plays, diaries, newspapers, and of course, the behemoth itself, the internet. Just look at how much things have changed in the last 50 years. This was a telephone in the 1970s. Although I imagine in 1972, most people's telephone looked like this. 40 years ago was 1982. The 1980s saw mobile phones used in public, although back then they looked like breeze blocks with buttons. 30 years ago, back in 1992, all the average person at home had were telephones. But things started to change in the 1990s. Yeah, the first text message was sent in 1992 by this man, Neil Papworth, a 22-year-old software programmer from the UK. It was sent on the 3rd of December 1992 and said, "Merry Christmas." You'll notice it didn't say LOL or ROFL or FOMO or YOLO. Those sound like Star Wars characters to me. We fast forward. In the first few years of the 21st century, we still made phone calls. We had phones with rudimentary text messages on them, usually indecipherable text speak like, "Are you okay?" or "Come out tonight for a drink." It's like the countdown words and numbers round mixed together on acid. Some people still use that text speak, and those people are morons. There was Windows Instant Messenger. I never used that, although I did get into email quite early on. Well, 1996. Not that early, considering emails had been around since 1965. Bet you didn't know that. Back in 1965, there were very few emails sent advertising penis enlargement or hot Russian babes who wanted to hook up. There was Friends Reunited, or, as it should have been known, Exes and One-Nighters Reunited and Marriages Ended. There was MySpace, which is still in operation in case you were wondering. Bebo, I still don't know what Bebo was. Sounds like a kids' TV character. Napster. People started downloading music, illegally, of course. Not me. I wouldn't have known how. I'd be Googling, how to illegally download music. And then came smartphones. Firstly, it was phones and phone companies named after fruits in a bid to make them sound like they were good for your health. Orange, BlackBerry, Apple. The orange one isn't even the shape of an orange. If this trend had continued, we'd all be checking our emails on our pomegranate and doing online shopping on the Mangosteen network. Actually, Mangosteen's not a bad name for a phone network. I wonder if anyone's thought of it. With the advent of the smartphone came a whole load of new websites and apps. And then came these. Facebook, fucking Facebook. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. I'll edit that out if I remember to before I send the link. Yeah, this is Facebook. My life is amazing. Look, just keep looking at me. Look where I am, look what I'm doing. Me. I'll tell you something. Facebook on a Saturday night is a desperate place. Saturday nights when you're alone. The last time I went out to a party or anything like that on a Saturday night was 2004. I'm not connected. Of the 322 friends I have on Facebook, I think I've spoken to 8 of them in the last 2 years. Not going to happen now. Anyway, look, I'm getting distracted. Oh, right. Twitter. Twitter. This is the average discussion on Twitter. An interesting point, but fuck you. No, fuck you. No, I said fuck you. No, I said fuck you, but I said fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Charles Dickens and Mark Twain must be spinning in their graves at such sharp and witty recourse. If I ate a cheese sandwich and went on Twitter to say I'd eaten a cheese sandwich, there'd be some arsehole on there saying I hadn't. Ramonas, Brexiters, Trump was robbed, school media, defund the BBC, send them to Rwanda, all lives matter, don't take the vaccine, COVID is a lie, the Great Reset, Johnson out, Beck Boris, jog on bot. Twitter went from being an instant posting service to everything that is wrong with humanity neatly wrapped up into 280 characters. And how much time do we spend working out which of those characters to delete when you go over the limit? Be kind to yourself. Log out of your Twitter account. Twitter angries up the blood. Instagram. This is basically your film from the Kodak shop in 1985, but with everyone in the shop looking at it. Snapchat. Now this seems to be aimed at people who want cartoon rabbit ears. Maybe they should have just aimed it at the rabbit market and cut out the middleman. WhatsApp. Where are my 2 blue ticks? Why haven't you read my message, you bastard? Do you hate me? TikTok. I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue what this is. And that is your life in 2022, looking at this little box in your hand for validation, for reassurance, for agreement and disagreement. The urge to have your eyes fixed on this device is overwhelming, at home, on the bus or train, in the street, on the toilet, everywhere. If the producers of the sitcom Friends made the programme today, it would be Facebook Friends, the one where they all sit in the coffee shop looking at their phones and don't talk to each other. We also don't talk in words now. At least that text speak from 20 years ago was an attempt at words. Nowadays we use GIFs and memes and emojis. I suppose emojis are just a continuation of hieroglyphics. Not sure the pharaohs of ancient Egypt had an equivalent for this, though. We have the whole world in our hands. The internet itself is a minefield of chaos and noise, a debating group consisting of shouting, contradicting and threatening. Just look at this website, for example, TripAdvisor. All you want to do is find out a little bit about the place you're going to on holiday, and instead you get fantastic hotel, awful hotel, great hotel, terrible hotel. The rooms were immaculate, the rooms were dirty, the rooms were a good size, the rooms were small, the food was brilliant, the food was horrible, the food was amazing, the food was disgusting, the staff were lovely, the staff were ignorant, the staff were helpful, the staff were idiots. I'd definitely go back, I wouldn't go back, I'm booked to go back, never again. Shithole. Even amongst the positive reviews you'll find one nonconformist who gives it no stars and seems to equate their mildly underwhelming holiday experience with the horrors of a medieval torture chamber. YouTube. Listening to all your favourite songs, but with the extra bonus of an advert about insurance at the start. Yes, that's what was missing from Eleanor Rigby, an advert for insurance before the strings come in. Netflix. This is like those promotions from 20 years ago. DVD players with 40 free DVDs. Basically, it's 5 films you want to watch and the rest straight-to-video filler, knock-off sequels or films that sound like more famous films. Fatal Weapon. Lethal Attraction. Zoom. I had this theory that the entire global pandemic was a massive marketing campaign by the makers of Zoom. Can you imagine that board meeting? Okay, I know this might seem a bit of a radical idea, but what about a virus that causes a lockdown? It's crazy, but it might just work. Everything is online. Everything. And everyone. Endless opportunities to follow every inch of the life of celebs now that the whole world seems to be in the thrall of this cult of celebrity. An inane parade of talentless nobodies vying for our attention. If there is one thing that reality TV isn't, it's real. As soon as you stick a camera on them, it becomes a performance. Cameras in the lounge or kitchen, in their faces, up their arses. Andy Warhol once said, "Everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. What he neglected to add was that they'd be famous for fuck all. Sorry, I've really got to stop swearing. Actually, do you know what? I'm not bothered. Yeah, phones, computers, celebrities, fake news, rage and hatred, alternative facts. This is where we've got to as a society. I'm starting to think that the Y2K bug was just slow acting. And where are we going with all this instant information? It's here, it's right now, it's in your face. It's only a matter of time before the launch of the Apple iHead. A USB socket inserted into the back of your neck and the entire internet downloaded straight to your brain. To search, just think of something. I imagine Pornhub getting a lot more hits with this method. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Bloody hell. Come on, you can do this. Right, sorry. Why am I saying sorry? Anyway, where was I? Yeah, the World Wide Web has got us all tangled up in its strands. Pandora's box has been opened and we can never close it again. The internet is a foreign land. They do things differently there. It all gets very confusing. Every inch of technology becomes a PhD. Even simple things. It's a land of confusion, to quote Genesis. The band, not the book in the Bible. Confusion. is someone repeating your phone number back to you in a different rhythm to the one that you use. Confusion is trying to work out why you typed abs instead of and. I would be a rich man if I had £1 for every time I'd written abs instead of and yes, I did it again while writing this. Confusion is holding a real photograph and wanting to zoom in using your fingers. Admit it, you've done it. Confusion is every time you plug in a USB connector the wrong way, 50-50 chance, but the score is always easily 85-15 in the connector's favour. Especially when you can't always see that little trident thing on the side. Confusion is any telephone helpline directing you to their website, the same website you've just visited, and eventually unearth their phone number that they've hidden away in the dark recesses of their labyrinth of a website. Confusion is autocorrect, making us look like idiots. Here's a few genuine autocorrect fails. Have a read of them. Oh, I miss you too. Don't think I'm weird, but I am sleeping with that shit you left in the bathroom. What? Yeah, it smells like you and makes me feel better when you're not here. If you're trying to be cute or funny, it's not working. Oh my God. Shirts. How did Dad's doctor's appointment go? Okay, he has heartburn. Doctor prescribed prostitutes, 2 per day. Wow, in that case I have heartburn too. Lol. Best prescription ever. Oh gosh, not funny. ProSelect. That is my worst autocorrect ever. Be warned, I'm dumping you when I get home tonight. Fine with me. I was just thinking we could use some time apart. WTF, Jenna? I got autocorrected. I meant to write jumping you, not dumping you, and now you're telling me you want to break up. Well, this is awkward. Technology rules our lives. It's everywhere. It follows our lives day in, day out. Unexpected item in the bagging area. It's my shopping from inside your shop. It can't be that unexpected. What you've got to imagine is the machine is saying, "What the hell was that?" Or, "Well, I didn't see that one coming." Unexpected item. A really unexpected item would be a woolly mammoth or the Ark of the Covenant. Not some butter. Everything is so instant now. At your fingertips, at the push of a button. The internet's had a devastating effect on our high streets. Why go out when you can do everything at home? Shopping, socialising, sex. Not that I used to go out for sex. That was always home-based. I mean, at home, not in home-based, the DIY shop. But sexual gratification is online. Newspapers. Trying to read an article in a local newspaper online is like having teeth extracted with a wooden spoon as you wait for the endless advertisements to load, and then you scroll through it all wondering if the article has finished or if it continues past yet another ad. And music. Listening to music. I used to love record shops. A mutual hub for appreciation of music. Looking through the vinyl and the CDs and the tapes. Nowadays it's all Spotify and streaming. And we don't listen in the same way. It's passive listening. No one makes mixtapes anymore. Not with streaming. A mixed stream sounds like something you'd need to see a urologist about. No shops. No interaction. Just a screen. If there is one single invention that has made the world less social, it is social media. Everyone together on the internet, doom scrolling their lives away. But ultimately, we're all alone. The human race might as well just be avatars now, an online collection of virtual friends who occasionally comment on your posts and who you haven't actually seen for 5 years or more. The internet and social media is about being seen, even though no one actually sees you. Attention seeking! Attention seeking is one of those phrases that seems to have been given a negative connotation like do-gooder. Yeah, and when was doing good such a bad thing? And if I'm a do-gooder and someone criticises me because they have conflicting beliefs, then what does that make them? And what exactly is wrong with seeking attention? Surely everyone wants attention. If we don't have attention, then what are we? We're ignored. We're forgotten. We're insignificant. We might as well be wearing Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be noticed and wanted and appreciated, particularly when you need it most. Maybe these chaps wanted attention. Maybe they should have got it. But that's life, isn't it? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I don't know where Forrest and his mother buy their chocolates from, but surely the box should contain a card with pictures, names and descriptions. So the quote should be, life is like a box of chocolates. You know exactly what you're going to get, and there'll always be some horrible coffee thing left over. Well, clearly this doesn't work. To make it work, you have to change it to something where you don't know what you're going to get. So your options are, life is like rummaging through a stranger's rubbish bag. You never know what you're going to get. Or, life is like having unprotected sex with someone you picked up in Wetherspoons on a Friday night. You never know what you're going to get. And what am I going to get? What am I going to get? An ex-wife, 3 kids who don't want to know me, living alone, ranting about nothing, nothing. 54 years old, and what am I doing? When did things reach this point? Where am I going? How did I get here? What? When? Where? How? And why? But what is my point here? My point is I no longer see any point. This is why I'm doing this. Because everything's changed. Even writing a note like this has changed. Back in 1972 or 82 or 92, it would have been a handwritten letter. Goodbye, cruel world. I thought I'd get with the times and leave you something you can watch and listen to again and again. Perhaps to see if you should feel any guilt. Thank you for your time. It'll all be over once I've emailed the link to this. There endeth the lesson.